For years, America has mourned the loss of extraordinary figures whose contributions have left an indelible mark on culture, entertainment, and history. In this episode of the USA Celebrity Legacy Channel, we celebrate their lives, their triumphs, and the enduring legacies they've gifted to generations. If their stories resonate with you, please leave a like to keep their memories vibrant. Thank you for joining us as we honor these icons. Let's begin. Polly Holliday, the Emmy-nominated actress forever etched in our hearts as Flo from Alice, passed away on September 9, 2025, at 87. Born on July 2, 1937, in Jasper, Alabama, Holliday's journey began on local theater stages, where her raw talent shone before television catapulted her to fame. Her portrayal of Florence Jean Flo Castleberry, with the unforgettable catchphrase, "Kiss My Grits," defined 1970s pop culture, earning her 2 Golden Globes and 4 Emmy nominations. She later starred in the spin-off Flo and appeared in films like Gremlins, 1984, Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, and had a recurring role on Home Improvement. Holliday's magic lay in her ability to infuse humor with warmth, crafting characters that felt like old friends. Though she stepped back from the spotlight in later years, her love for the stage endured, and her performances remained timeless. If Flo's spunk ever made you smile, comment 87 or RIP Polly Holliday to honor a woman who brought joy to millions. Music. Mark Volman, the dynamic co-founder and voice of the Turtles, left us on September 5, 2025, at 78. Born in Los Angeles in 1947, Volman helped shape the sound of 1960s pop with hits like It Ain't Me Babe, 1965, and the iconic Happy Together, 1967, a song that became a universal anthem of joy. His infectious stage energy and bright harmonies captivated fans. After the Turtles disbanded in 1970, Volman and Howard Kaylan formed Flo and Eddie, collaborating with Frank Zappa and contributing vocals to albums by T. Rex, Bruce Springsteen, and more. Later, he taught music business at Belmont University while continuing to perform on Happy Together tours, keeping his music alive for new audiences. Volman's voice was a thread in the fabric of pop history. Comment 78 or RIP Mark Volman to celebrate the man who sang happiness into our lives. Music. Rick Davies, the creative force behind Supertramp, passed away on September 5, 2025, at 81. Born in England in 1944, Davies co-founded the band in 1969, guiding it from humble roots to global fame. His gravelly vocals on Bloody Well Right and soulful piano on Goodbye Stranger defined Supertramp's unique blend of rock depth and pop accessibility. The 1979 album Breakfast in America sold over 20 million copies, earning 2 Grammys and cementing Davies' legacy. Inspired by jazz and blues, he led the band through decades of hits and tours, even amidst health challenges. His music remains a soundtrack for reflection and energy. Comment 81 or RIP Rick Davies to honor a musical architect whose songs still echo worldwide. Music. Robbie Turner, the steel guitar virtuoso whose emotive playing shaped country music, died on September 4, 2025, at 60. A prodigy from Nashville, born in 1955, Turner was touring with legends like Waylon Jennings and the Highwaymen as a teenager. His work with Chris Stapleton later showcased his ability to make the steel guitar weep or roar, turning live solos in the 1980s into fan-favorite moments. A sought-after session musician, his notes graced countless gold and platinum records, adding soul to hits. Turner also produced and mentored, passing his craft to new generations. His legacy sings in every steel string. Comment 60 or RIP Robbie Turner for a man who gave country music its heart. Music. Jim Marshall, a baseball legend, passed on September 7, 2025, at 93. Born in Danville, Illinois, In 1932, Marshall played over 400 MLB games for teams like the Chicago Cubs and New York Mets, making an instant impact with 2 home runs in his 1962 Mets debut. He pioneered as one of the first Americans to play professionally in Japan, hitting 78 home runs for the Chinichi Dragons. As a manager for the Cubs in athletics, and later a coach and scout, he shaped talents like Ichiro Suzuki. His 70-year career bridged continents and eras. Comment 93 or RIP Jim Marshall for a trailblazer who connected baseball's global spirit. Music, Giorgio Armani, the Italian design genius who redefined elegance, died on September 4, 2025, at 91. Born in Piacenza, Italy, in 1934, Armani launched his fashion house in 1975, revolutionizing menswear with soft, minimalist suits that became iconic in American Gigolo, 1980. His empire, valued at $9 billion in 2024, grew from a Milan workshop to over 2,500 stores, spanning couture, ready-to-wear, and lifestyle ventures like hotels and fragrances. Armani's aesthetic blended red carpet glamour with everyday wear, while his fur-free stance and pandemic-era donations to healthcare reflected his social conscience. His vision reshaped global style. Comment 91 or RIP Giorgio Armani for a legacy of understated brilliance. Music, Brent Hines, Mastodon's Grammy-winning guitarist, passed on August 20th, 2025 at 51. Born in Pelham, Alabama, in 1974, Hines co-founded the band in 2000, his innovative riffs driving albums like Leviathan, 2004, and The Hunter, 2011, which earned a 2018 Grammy for Sultan's Curse. His wild stage presence and southern-infused style pushed heavy metal into new realms. Side projects like Fiend Without a Face showed his range. Comment 51 or RIP Brent Hines for a musician who redefined metal's boundaries. Music, Tristan Rogers, beloved as Robert Scorpio on General Hospital, passed on August 15, 2025 at 79. Born in Melbourne, Australia, in 1946, Rogers appeared in over 1,500 episodes, shining in the 1981 Ice Princess storyline that drew 14 million viewers. His charisma carried into The Young and the Restless and El de Noir, 2011. A mentor to young actors, his legacy endures in daytime TV. Comment 79 or RIP Tristan Rogers for a soap opera titan. Music, Christophe von Dohnanyi, a towering figure in classical music, died on September 6, 2025 at 96. Born in Berlin in 1929, he led orchestras like the Cleveland Orchestra and Philharmonia, recording over 100 albums and championing Beethoven and Brahms. His youth programs nurtured new talent, ensuring classical music's future. Comment 96 or RIP Christophe von Dohnanyi for a conductor who sculpted sound for decades. Music, Frank Price, the Hollywood visionary behind Back to the Future and The Cosby Show, died on August 25, 2025 at 94. Born in Decatur, Illinois, in 1931, Price's leadership at Columbia Pictures and Universal greenlit hits like Ghostbusters and Out of Africa. His storytelling instinct and mentorship shaped modern entertainment. Comment 94 or RIP Frank Price for a pioneer who brought stories to life. Music, Jerry Adler, the Sopranos veteran who played Hesh Rabkin, passed on August 23, 2025 at 96. Born in Brooklyn in 1929, Adler stage-managed Broadway classics before acting in Mad About You and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. His nuanced performances added depth to every role. Comment 96 or RIP Jerry Adler for a master of stage and screen. Music, Bruce Willis, born March 19, 1955, in Idar-Oberstein, West Germany, to a military father and German mother, grew up in working-class New Jersey. A severe stutter plagued his youth, but the stage became his refuge, where words flowed freely. After high school, he worked as a security guard, factory worker, and bartender, sharpening his grit and charm. Moving to New York in 1977, he chased auditions while bartending, learning to read people and improvise. His breakthrough came in 1985 with Moonlighting, playing David Addison, a role that blended wit and vulnerability, earning an Emmy and Golden Globe. Die Hard, 1988, redefined action cinema, with Willis as John McClane, a flawed, relatable hero, grossing $140 million. The 1990s showcased his versatility in Pulp Fiction, 1994, 12 Monkeys, 1995, The Fifth Element, 1997, and The Sixth Sense, 1999, a global hit with 6 Oscar nominations. The 2000s brought Unbreakable, 2000, Sin City, 2005, Looper, 2012, and Moonrise Kingdom, 2012, proving his range across genres. Diagnosed with aphasia in 2022 and frontotemporal dementia, FTD, in 2023, Willis retired after a 40-year career of over 100 projects. His family, ex-wife Demi Moore, wife Emma Hemming, and 5 daughters, united to support him, raising awareness for FTD. Emma's caregiving and the family's openness turned a private struggle into a public call for compassion. Fans and peers flooded social media with tributes, sharing clips of Die Hard, The Sixth Sense, and Pulp Fiction, celebrating a man whose humor, grit, and humanity reshaped cinema. Willis's legacy lives in his everyman heroes: John McClane's tenacity, Malcolm Crowe's compassion, Butch Coolidge's redemption, and in the family that stood by him. From Moonlighting-esque quips to Die Hard-esque yippee-ki-yay, his voice echoes in every rewatch, a testament to a career that made vulnerability heroic. Comment 70 or RIP Bruce Willis to honor a legend whose heart outlasted his roles. Music. These icons, actors, musicians, athletes, designers, and visionaries, wove stories, sounds, and dreams into the fabric of our culture. Their work lives on in laughter, melodies, and moments that still move us. Let's keep their legacies alive by sharing their stories and celebrating the humanity they brought to their craft.